presented by Brown Advisory. The stage is set to kick off day one of competition at one of the most prestigious events in the world. The 5-star here in Cecil County is one of only 2 5-stars in North America and one of only 7 worldwide. We will start off with dressage, the first phase of competition, testing the skill and accuracy of the combinations. Day 2 will move to the cross country, where they will be challenged by Pierre Lagrouple's first attempt at the 5-star track here at the Maryland 5-star. And day 3, we will decide who will be atop of the podium at the end of the day of competition. I am here joined in the commentary booth by Marilyn Payne. Marilyn has judged at almost every 5-star in the world, 2 Olympic Games. Marilyn, what does it take to win on this day?
It takes a lot of grit, a lot of luck, but it's a fabulous place to be, and I'm sure these riders can handle it. But we have lots of great horses, great riders, and I'm excited to see how it happens.
As am I. Well, we start the day off strong with 2 Olympians, Caroline Pamuchku and Boyd Martin.
Yeah.
And what are you excited to see from them today?
Well, I think they're both top of their game, and so it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a fight out there to the finish.
And we are going to throw down to where we caught up with the sights and sound of the trot up yesterday at the jog strip.
Well, I think visiting America was always on my bucket list. We took embryos from Queen Diva this summer, and sometimes it's fate. It took a little bit longer than we planned, and getting the mare back, her first target was Burley, but we couldn't get her fit for Burley, and I just made the suggestion to the owner, maybe this is fate and we should give it a go. Took us a little while to get our heads around it. It's a big deal flying your horse over to the States. But here we are, and I couldn't be more excited.
I am a little bit patriotic, but I'd say, the surfaces are beautiful. I'm like, look at the grass. Like, can you name a place prettier or more green? Like, it's just absolutely stunning, and they've been taking such good care all year to make the footing perfect. So, excited to go out and tackle it.
I mean, this is a great area for equine sports and eventing in particular, and it's. Conditions are always beautiful here. The place is fantastic, and we're just so lucky to have it here. And thankfully, I've been here for all of them, and I'd like to win this one.
Maryland is such a special venue. It just has its own vibe. It's incredibly relaxed. It has all of the grandeur of anywhere you could go in the world, and the cross-country course that they put on here is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just one of those magical 5-stars. There's only so many in the world. It's just a great venue, like to have. It's got a real equestrian feel with the racetrack here and the big open cross-country course, which, it's everything you could dream of for a 5-star competition.
My favorite thing about this venue, I love this venue. Every part about it, I don't even know. There's too many things to list. I actually really love it here, so always try to come.
Well, there we have a beautiful shot down in our warm-up arena. Boyd Martin there, our second to enter into the arena after Olympic compadre Caroline Pamuchku, who will start us off. We have the beautiful colors of fall as number 1 into the ring for the 5-star here, Caroline Pamuchku and HSH Tolan King, followed by U.S. Open winner Boyd Martin and Luke 140. Then Canadian Olympian Jessica Phoenix enters on her longtime partner Wabbit. Jennie Brannigan, Shannon Lilly, and Allison Springer will be our first 6 into the arena. Then another Canadian face, Lindsay will enter the ring after 2 strong wins at the 4-star level coming into this competition. Ardan Will Faudree, Mama's Magic Way. One competitor from Great Britain, Alexander Bragg, and then Caroline Pamuchku will come in for a second time to finish out the day. Well, it is a sunny but cool 57 degrees out here at the 5-star in Maryland. A perfect day for top sport and competition as we get ready to set the scene as day 1 at the Mars Maryland 5-star at Fairhill, presented by Brown Advisory, starts out with Caroline Pamuchku and HSH Tolan King. here is a look at what the week schedule looks like. One more day of dressage tomorrow. We already saw 3-star competitors out this morning. We'll see them again tomorrow morning. And then Saturday, we start out the day at 9 o'clock with the 3-star competition, followed by the 5-star at 1. Sunday, we will be in the same arena again with Michelle Valancourt's show jumping as the clock is counting down to Caroline's entrance into the arena. Tolan King is a 10-year-old Irish sport horse owned by the Tolan King Partnership. And Marilyn, why don't you talk us through this test in our first ride here at the 5-star?
Okay, this test has been going on for several years, and it really has worked out well. You start out with a medium trot, just a shorter diagonal of the medium trot. They want to see the horses push and lift. And then comes the hard part. You have to do a shoulder in, and it's on the quarter line, so it's halfway between the center line and the rail. And to try and stay on that line, keep the hind legs on the line with the shoulders inside. And she seems to be doing a good job of it, but we're not sitting there. For the one judge that is sitting at H, she's going to be able to see that alignment much better. Then on to the half pass, and this half pass is quite a distance because normally we go from the center line, but now you're going from the quarter line. So you've got to go a lot more sideways, a lot more lateral movement and see more lateral reach and maintain the bend and the engagement. And that's difficult to do on a long distance like that.
How difficult is it to be the first in the arena from the rider's perspective and the judge's perspective?
Well, I think from the rider's perspective, it's not that difficult. They're just going in there to go for it, no matter whether they go first or last. Unfortunately, they think that if you're going first, you're not going to get as good a score as if you go in last. But, I mean, I've been at competitions where the first horse that goes in wins, so it's just seems like that, but it's not really true. But from the judges, you know, you have the test ride, which is great, so you all get into the using your scribe and the whole system and making sure everything works, and you've already talked to the other judges, so you just get into it, and it's just like doing any other competition.
So Caroline's had some good results. A 4th place finish just last month at Stableview. They tend to be trending around the 34, 36 mark. So far this test is trending above average for Caroline. Would that line up with what you're seeing?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any scores, but I see what I see, and she's doing a good job. I don't see any place so far that you'd be taking down. She'd be much lower to the 30s for sure. But we'll see. Maybe the canter work, he gets uptight. But here, this is difficult. This is a medium canter. You have to go to P and then maintain the counter canter and then do a flying change right at A, right in front of all the judges so they can all see that one. But it was a clean change. And then immediately right into the half pass. And depending on where you sit, you can see the alignment of that half pass. From our point of view, it looked fine, but from the judges, see, maybe the haunches were trailing, maybe they were leading. And now we do an extended trot, which is even more. You want to see the utmost in extension here. Collect and maintain that counter canter. Good for her. Whoops.
What's your comments there?
Whoops. Oh, it's really unfortunate. And people don't understand that the judges really want you to do well. And we get upset when they have problems like that. But that's the only problem she's had so far. I think the change might have been clean, but it was a little resistant. And then here we have the stretch circle. You want to see the horse lengthen his frame. He's a little bit tight right now after that change, so he's not as relaxed in the back and able to stretch down. And then our last 2 changes, let's see if she can. And it's hard from here. We just see the back end, and the judges are seeing it from a different angle. He didn't quite stay straight there. A little exuberant about the changes, and that's where her score goes down because he doesn't have confident changes, but he is doing them.
And still a young horse at just 10 years old, needing to get confirmed. The 4 changes in this 5-star test are really, really important to the bottom line. But we are going to throw down to the 3rd member of our team, Frankie Theriot-Stutes, down at the end gate.
Hi, everyone, and good afternoon. It's a beautiful day here in Elkton, Maryland, in Cecil County, and the scene is definitely set. We're underway, which is exciting. But behind me in the final warm-up is Boyd Martin, and he is predicted to potentially take the top 2 spots in his class. So there'll be a lot of pressure on him right out of the gate. A former winner here, and it's going to be very, very exciting to watch this all unfold this afternoon. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Frankie. Yeah, it all is coming in thick and fast as Stacey Simpson, Boyd's longtime groom, helps calmly lead his horse up to the arena. And now we'll have a look at Caroline's test, our first rider in this 5-star competition, as we wait for her score. Get a look at this second change, which was slightly expressive. Started to maybe be a little bit of what started to knock the score a little bit in towards the mid-30s.
Yeah, and it wasn't clean besides that, or that change wasn't clean. And that counts so much, these flying changes.
Caroline, we will see her later today. She has 3 rides in this 5-star competition. So I know Word on the Street has been about the fitness level for the horses across the track, but Caroline is going to need to keep her fitness up for Saturday's event as well. While we wait on a score for her. It takes such a village to get the horses here. She's got Chef to keep Leslie Law there with some words of advice. The steward's walking her down to make sure that all the equipment and everything is up to par and up to standard. Huge thank you to our organizers, our volunteers, our stewards, everyone that it takes to put this competition on here at Maryland.
Yeah, she seems happy about it. It's probably one of the best she'd expected for this horse this time.
Yeah, can you talk to that a little bit? You know, again, it's a competition with other riders here, but often these riders are competing against themselves and their scores.
Absolutely. You really go for you and your horse. And if you can get the best out of your horse that he can do, you're ecstatic. And it may not be the top of the leaderboard, but it's all a long journey, and it's between you and your horse. If you can place, that's great.
So a score in of 35.9 for Caroline Pamuchku. That's what she will head to cross country with as we see our U.S. Open final winner, Boyd Martin. The Equidatings Prediction Center has predicted him at top of the podium this weekend, but we'll see what he can do as he comes down the center line on the 14-year-old Luke 140.
That was a nice halt, right from canter directly to the halt.
This horse owned by the Luke 140 Syndicate. And, you know, last week, Maryland, we saw Boyd on some newer horses in his string, horses he's taken over from Liz Halliday, and he had a fantastic weekend. But the horses he brings forth this weekend, he's had a longer relationship with. He knows these horses really well. They keep delivering. I think we can all remember his ride on this horse and just the torrential downpour at Kentucky last year, where I think we all just had so much respect because they just managed to make their way through that test so confidently.
Yeah, Boyd's a real rider. He goes through anything, you know. And I think these top riders, they ride better when the weather is bad. They put more into it, and we're going to do this.
Challenge accepted.
But he seems to be having a nice, very consistent ride.
Comes to us with a second place finish at Tryon. A score of 27.7. Has dipped as low as a 25.4.
Here you see the extended trot. It was clearly different than the medium trot, and that's what you want to see. It's the utmost push and ground cover. And the halt is scored separately from the reinback. They did have a lovely halt. It looked like an obedient reinback.
That reinback does seem to be as influential and difficult at times as the changes.
Right, and people worry about, oh my gosh, the changes. The changes is one score, and the reinback's a score, the halt's a score. They're all one score. So what I tell people sometimes is work on what you really do well and get a really good score on it. You know, if you drill on what's hard and what your horse has difficult with, it tends to get them more uptight, and you get too worried and it doesn't work out, then it messes up the rest of the test.
See behind Week 140 the beautiful jumps that will be jumped on Saturday.
That was a little unfortunate. He was sneezing and telling him to canter at the same time, and there was a little miscommunication. Well, that was very nice. Held the canter beautifully. Had a good change. And to immediately get him positioned into a correct half pass is very difficult. And that's why the scores differ sometimes, because from the front, it doesn't look like the alignment is good, that the haunches are leading or trailing, and the judge from the side thinks it looks okay. So you can't get away with anything.
The judges are always walking. Another good change.
Yeah, beautiful change.
It's one of the few sports that we pay to be judged.
You see a clear stretch.
This is a move that when it first got introduced, the riders really didn't know what to do with it. We seem to be getting it a little bit more correct now.
And it was put in because there were too many horses that were in an artificial frame that weren't really stretching forward to the contact. And that's why it was put in as a test. And it also has helped with the changes, I think, because horses relax during the stretch, and then they go and do much better changes. But he's had 4 lovely changes. And now here, this is difficult. At the end, you have to trot and then halt, because normally you canter halt. And it was put in because horses were slamming on the brakes, anticipating. Nice ride.
The crowd's filling up here. If you're sitting at home too scared to get off your couch because you're enjoying our commentary so much, fear not. Come out, get one of the Taylor Harris Insurance radios, and you can listen to our commentary while enjoying the trade fair, watching these beautiful horses, and enjoying a beautiful day out here at Cecil County as we get some slow motion shots as Loop 140 blazes across the 20x60.
There's that extended trot. We talk about air time, where no feet are on the ground at one time.
A little mistake where he just went to sneeze and canter at the same time.
But 1 score.
See our ever positive dressage judge in here.
And that's the thing you want riders to do. Keep riding. Don't get worried because you blew 1 score. Keep on riding and get better scores.
And there we have our beautiful ground jury members in their Quarry Few judges box. President of the ground jury, Great Britain, Sandy Phillips. Sitting next to her, Beat DeGrazia. And from the USA, Bobby Stevenson. So we've got Boyd awaiting the score, moves into the first position with a 31. From the test we watched, that seems almost a little bit...
Right, it does, but look, at the judge at C was 173, so that's 10 points lower. So what I was saying was the alignment, maybe in the half passes, maybe his haunches were leading. Sometimes you try so hard, that happens. I know in the first halt it was beautiful, and then he moved off and he looked like he got crooked.
There we have our iconic water tower here in Cecil County. We are so grateful to be residents here for the weekend on this beautiful 5,600 acre park that we get to spend the time at. Please come on out, enjoy the sights and the sounds of Cecil County. We've got a kids corner here that is open all day as we watch Olympian for Canada, Jessica Phoenix, who we've already seen one time today in the 3-star with her longtime partner, Wabbit, getting ready to come down the center line.
Yeah, I've judged this horse, it seems like forever. And boy, he's come a long way. She could hardly stay in the ring in the beginning with Wabbit.
You know, this horse has been all over the world.
But boy, can he jump.
All thoroughbred. Had that wonderful finish at Burley in 2023 with an 11th place finish. He was top 20 here in Maryland in 2022. And this is their 6th 5-star together. Wabbit owned in partnership with Jesse and longtime owner Jim Phillips. This horse 15 years old.
Yeah, from here, he definitely did a medium trot with a clear difference. It's hard for thoroughbreds because they don't have the movement that some of these warm bloods have. And we've gotten so many more fancy warm bloods mixed in.
And how do you, how do you encourage people that maybe aren't sitting on the fancy warm bloods? I mean, how do you say, what's your advice to them?
You've just got to do the most accurate obedient test. Look at Michael Young. I tell you, he has horses that weren't definitely fabulous. They were average movers, and he nails every movement. Doesn't miss a point.
So there you have it, guys. Just be Michael Young.
And then go jump.
And then jump all the jumps. But this is looking like a really beautiful test so far.
Very steady.
Jessie had a wonderful finish on her partner Fluorescent Adolescent at the final at Morven Park last week. A very, very busy lady on the scene, taking 2 weeks out on the East Coast away from her family at home. It really does take a village to keep everything going while these competitors are out on the road looking towards the World Championships in Aachen next year.
But she's doing a good job. Like in the extended trot, you also have a separate score just for the transition back. And she had 2 clear transitions in and out.
You know, that's the other thing. In these tests, like you said previously, everything is judged, where in some of our lower level tests, you kind of have some moments in between that you're not getting a mark for.
Mary's a little uptight. That's unfortunate. Because there's so many scores now for the walk. There's a medium walk score, which she's doing, and then there's the extended walk, and then another medium walk score. That's almost as many as the flying changes.
These thoroughbred horses are bred to run.
Yeah. And they really want to try, and so they're anxious, like, I know I got it, now what we're going to do.
Well, she'll be thankful to get into her canter work.
I tell you, as a judge, you're thinking, come on, okay, hold it. That was nice.
See the chalets back behind the short side there at A. So thankful for all of our sponsors that are out helping us this weekend. Myanmar, Cecil County, Taylor Harris Insurance. We could not do this without your help.
Keep it. Looks like you're starting to get tight there. No? Good. She's doing a great job with him.
You know, and at 15 years young, still plenty of competitions left to get to, but we know after walking around Pierre Legoupil's cross country, this is going to be a big ask tomorrow, and a fitness ask at that. Here on the cross country, it is known for its terrain, so being on a thoroughbred horse is going to have its advantages, and if she can stay closer to those mid-30s, she's going to really have a crack at it on Saturday.
But it's nice. She's keeping him under control. He's not getting more uptight and
Commentators curse. It's what happens.
Okay. Well, just at the end. On the center line, he's like, yes, we're done.
You know, it's interesting because, yeah, he was almost more comfortable up against the boards instead of out in that open part of the arena. Halt there as our Annapolis Pony Club will be opening and closing the gate here today. It is so great to have the local United States Pony Club chapter from Annapolis out here in charge of that dressage gate. The first people that our riders will see coming down the center line, and the last when they leave. A big responsibility.
Oh, they showed that change. That was a nice change. Very relaxed.
Well, while we wait for this score, we are going to catch up with the third member of our team, Frankie, who has Boyd at the end gate.
Well, Boyd, one of our fan favorites, one of the favorites in the field, and talk about what this event is like to get to compete in.
It's pretty handy for me. I just live half an hour down the road, so I come out this way a fair bit. You know, we do some horse trials here with the younger horses and the Cecil County Fair, which is a must-see for anyone that's looking for a county fair. There's lots of good people watching and some awesome rides, so it's a good spot to bring the kids.
Well, I want to ask you, I put Sinead on the spot earlier in our commentary, and I want to ask you now, what are your top 3 things that you think people should check out if they come here in person?
What should they see? They should see the cross country, number 1. They should go to the Mars. Have got something for your dogs and cats, do they?
You can even adopt a pet here.
Yeah, go grab a cat. Really good looking cats here. And then come to my merch store, the Boyd Martin merch shop here if anyone's looking for a nice t-shirt.
All right, well, a lot to do here. Boyd, you've already done 1 horse. We'll get to see you again tomorrow and throughout the weekend, so good luck on the rest.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Frankie. So we have a score in for Jessie Phoenix, 40.6. That will put her in the 3rd position thus far, as we see an excited Wabbit leaving the main arena. A big pat for her longtime partner there as she meets up with the steward, as we welcome our 4th ride into the main arena here at the Mars Maryland 5-star. Jennie Brannigan, an FE Lifestyle. This 15-year-old owned by Tim and Nina Gardner. They have done 7 5-stars together, Maryland.
Oh, wow.
This will be their 8th.
I didn't realize there was that many. I guess they know each other well.
They do. They had that fabulous 12th place finish at Burley in 2023 and a top 10 at Kentucky in 2024. And, you know, like you said about Boyd earlier, these riders are tough. Jennie had a very unfortunate fall before she even went out of the start box last week at the Open, having a small fracture in her ankle, and she is still here riding less than 7 days later.
More power to her. This is a nice horse, though. He's got a little boing to his trot, right? Air time.
A little boing to his trot. And he seems to have just a nice cadence, kind of, and she doesn't rush him through it. It just looks like they're both enjoying each other's company.
Yeah. Very fluent half pass.
I think last year Jennie stayed back in Pennsylvania, another local rider here. She stayed home for most of the winter and really focused on her own on some of her dressage work, and I think that's when we saw a real shift in their dressage phase. It really, I think she had a standout test at Carolina in the spring and has gone from strength to strength.
She maintains that same rhythm, the same tempo in the extended trot. Good halt. And 5 steps back.
Check, check.
Check, check. It's so hard, especially with these horses that are fit, you know. You say back up and okay, and then all of a sudden you have 6 steps, 7 steps.
Yes. Most of us in this sport may not be academic, so counting isn't our first our first inclination. This horse looking very confident in the walk, more relaxed than a few we've seen so far.
He's got some swing in his back. He's stretching into the contact, which is very nice. That's what we want.
There, unfortunately.
Little, tiny. But that score is part of the Canada part score. So maybe you'd be down half a point. It's not the end of the world.
This horse has a huge stride. You'll really see that on Saturday when he eats up the cross-country course as she comes into her first of 4 changes.
We got it.
She is trending right ahead of our current leader. But some influential moves to come.
That's good. He covers the ground. Comes back. And a little tight in the change, but he did it. It was clean.
You know, one of the interesting things that they've done here this year at Maryland is they've allowed the riders to choose the music they want to do their dressage test to. If you want to know what that music is...
We don't need an extra change, buddy.
You're going to have to come here and see. But unfortunately, a little dance step in there that was unnecessary.
You thought it was that half pass to a flying change test. Got mixed up. Okay, from the back.
What would you say with that one?
Well, didn't quite jump through behind. Nice transition to the trot, though. Nice forward trot.
I think she is going to be very happy that she could just get here to compete, where it was a little touch and go there for a moment. It will be close. We still have these harmony scores to come in at the end, which are a double coefficient. The current leader in the clubhouse is Boyd Martin on a 31.0. We'll see if Jennie has done enough to catch up.
She had a lot of nice work there.
Slow motion shots here. Caroline with the American patch on her tails has represented the U.S. at the Nation Cup level. It's been on training lists since the time before she could probably have a beer.
And here we are. 170.5, 172.5, 181.
See that little mistake that happened when he just went to offer that change when she went to straighten him up. Again, more of a miscommunication than a mistake. Great job for her. As we wait for the score, it comes in, and a 32.8 puts her in second position.
She was close.
Unfortunate little bobbles at the end of the test, but again, this will not be a dressage competition. Tim Gardner, their longtime owner and supporter, following Jennie. We could not do this without our sponsors, our owners, our syndicate members. There, Chef to Keep Leslie Law and Karen Shooter.
The Gardners have done so much for eventing. It's amazing.
96 America.
All smiles and discussion as they head back down to get their final tack equipment. So we wait to welcome our next horse and rider combination.
But you just said before, 1 point, what's he going to do tomorrow?
Absolutely. The talk out there on the track is it is big, it is impressive. The ground here is unbelievable. Look at that landscape. We have this amazing arena here with the chalets and the outwood footing in the main arena. And then back behind that, we've got the young horse competition going on, the 4- and 5-year-old competition. It's all to see here. I mean, it's the full trajectory of sport, Marilyn. We've got the young horses, we've got the 3-star, we've got the highest level of sport at the 5-star, all happening right here in Cecil County.
And it's so exciting to see those young horses, and then in a few years, they're going to be here.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the time span that these riders are thinking about. They're not thinking in terms of 1 month or 2 months. They're thinking in terms of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and how to set these horses up. So Shannon Lilly enters the arena on her 11-year-old and Hoven Garrett, owned by Alex Lilly and Shannon.
It took a little while to get that halt there. Seems like he's a little on edge, like, oh dear, what's happening? So hopefully he'll settle in.
This combination had their first 5-star go at Kentucky last year and had a top 20 finish. And to prep for this competition, they ran the 3-star at Plantation, and everyone gets ready for this competition a little bit differently. Some riders like to drop the horses down, get them filled with confidence, and some like to have that really tough run before they come out. But she had a 2nd place finish just last month at Plantation.
A little tension, a little unsteadiness in the contact. But then once he gets into the half pass, he's better. Yeah, I think horses like this, you have to give them something to do. Come on, let's do this.
It's
to do the better.
Yeah, and it's such a combination of their mental tendencies and physical attributes. This horse is a different type than what we've seen so far, kind of a bigger, blockier type, and also seems to have a little bit of an anticipatory mind.
Wasn't bad. The halt was better than the first one. They stood really nicely, but just moved his legs a little bit, like, can't stand still. But he didn't back up when he wasn't supposed to. He's trying.
These horses are so fit. Everyone knows from the competition, this is their 5th year running, that they better be fighting fit to come here. And Shannon lives locally, and there is some amazing terrain around here, but it can catch up to you on a day like today that's chilly. They've got to do their dressage test right next to the cross-country jumps that they're going to be jumping on Saturday. See him just trying, like you said, so hard to behave, but really wanting to have his moment.
Which lead do we want? Right lead, left lead.
So how do you judge that? Because obviously she brought him back and then did the transition again. So
Right, so it has to be a 4 no matter what. It might be like there, it would probably be lower because not only that, but he was fighting the contact. This is where it's interesting because from here it looks like the haunches may have been leading, but as judged from the side, you wouldn't say that because you don't know, but the judges see that's their job. But she's still confident to say, come on, you're going to go, you're going to do your extended trot, and then she got the change. You admire riders that keep riding, and when things don't go well, they don't get upset about it, they just try harder.
Absolutely, and Shannon would very much know what it's like to, ride through a lot of different types of horses. She represented the United States at the Pan American Games back in 2011. Gold medalist from that games. Had some injury that kept her out of sport for a long time. She actually, Marilyn, felt for a long time she would never be able to ride again.
Really?
Yep. And then managed to kind of get, after several years in selling the whole string of horses that she had, moved back out to the East Coast, developed a new string of horses, and she's back out at it, but has just really fought through some adversity. So she is a cool character in her head, a cool character to spend time with. And I also get the feeling that this horse wouldn't go better if you rode him softer. Or were timid.
Now you've got to be confident. Now stand still. He's got everything he needs. I mean, the changes are all good. He's got the lateral work. He's very supple that way. It's just his nerves get a little carried away. Good thing she doesn't.
No, she does not. As we get a little bit of this slow motion, as you can see, he just doesn't want to grow any type of roots. He's just got, like you said, those ants in his pants. Needs to move his feet.
And it's great to have him here with us at the 5-star. We'll get her stories in just a sec.
But again, a credit to the partnership because he really did try to keep it together. And there, in just a moment of almost frustration on his part, misread the cue. So it's under review, that score. That's all it means. Another beautiful shot of this Atwood arena. Our wonderful sponsors of the sport. Our show jumping will be in here again on Sunday, designed by the Canadian Olympic and former chef de keep Michelle Valancourt. All smiles from this lady.
Yeah, these professional riders are so good. No matter what goes wrong, they're still happy. You know, we did it. We got through it. You know, we had some good points. Yeah, we could have done better, but now we're done. I got my ticket for cross country.
Exactly. Pay to play. A score comes in of 37.5 penalties. On early stages will put her in the 4th position. She debriefs her.
That score is very close with the 3 judges.
All in agreement. Her long-term groom and dear friend, Kat, who has been on the show circuit for as long as I can remember, giving a pat, and he looks very, very proud of himself.
Two top 10 finishes in 4-star shorts, and also 2 top 10 finishes.
You know, and it's so great when you're finished there to have have somebody there that you can chat with. As we get a look at this prize money breakdown, first place $100,000, then a shift and quick drop off to $40,000 for second, $35,000 for third, $25,000 fourth place, and fifth a cool $20,000, with the total purse being $300,000. That might be one of our corgis resting up for the races on Saturdays.
Better rest.
Saturday's corgi races, which have become infamous and famous here. Corgis running rogue on the racetrack at the Maryland 5-star. He's not wasting a calorie resting in that beautiful grass here at Fair Hill. As we have the countdown for our next rider into the arena will be Allison Springer and Van Dyke, an Irish sport horse, 11 years old, by Vancouver, out of Shenandoah, Shenandoah Willow by touchdown.
Is this his first 5-star?
It is his first 5-star. He is owned by the Rico Syndicate. And this has been a partner of Allison's for some time, but she definitely says in this phase, he's like a footballer doing ballet. It wouldn't be his most natural phase.
Yeah, like you were talking about before, they don't care. They know they're not going to win dressage. And it's just how he does in comparison to the other times out.
Van Dyke was top 10 at his last 3 outings. And it's been interesting, Marilyn, following this horse and rider combination, because they actually went through a string of probably 7 events where they just kept having an annoying 20. Like everywhere across the board, there'd just be one silly thing here or there. And now they really seem to have put the pieces together, and in quite good timing on planning coming to their first 5-star together.
Sure. You want to go out there confident.
Allison, no stranger to the 5-star level. Longtime partner Arthur. She got to compete at several 5-stars all over the world.
Okay.
Not from too far away, Allison resides in Upperville, Virginia.
Well, he seemed to settle down into his work here. It just doesn't have the push and the lift that some of the other horses have at the extended. She'll make it up somewhere else.
For any of those at home thinking about coming out on Saturday, please do join us. There is so much going on Saturday afternoon. There will be tons of course walks, but Mane and Tail is sponsoring a course walk with 3 of our most famous riders out here. We'll have Will Coleman, Olivia Dutton, and Chris Talley. They will take you out onto the field and show you what their thoughts are on the 5-star track. Also, please come and check out the trade fair, where there will be all sorts of signs out there saying who will be leading course walks on Saturday. As Allison, I think, would like to fast forward to Saturday.
We're ready to canter. A little too early. One we hope don't change yet. Okay. She held it.
Just getting so upset, a little overwhelmed with all that's going on here. Got the chalets in the background and the cross country, and away from all the friends here in this main arena.
So unfortunate. Once you lose it like that and the horse is frazzled, so hard to get it back.
You know, and this horse is probably fitter than he's ever been before, and it's just showing up at the wrong time. And here, at least, she just kind of tries to gallop forward, get him back in front of the leg and thinking forward.
For her, she didn't get the change too early. It wasn't a good change, but it could have been a lot worse.
She's at least gotten him a little bit back on side, Marilyn.
And let's do this stretch. Maybe we'll relax. Deep breath.
It is so good that you put that in there, because it's almost the last thing you want to do when they're like that, is to just let them have a stretch. It did. Maybe she heard your deep breath. Allison made the big trip out to Kalispell to Rebecca Farm this summer and was 7th out there at the 4-star with Van Dyke. She really started solidifying here cross country. So not a day she will have loved spending in the dressage arena, but she will be happy to have that done.
I'm happy to have that energy tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I know I came out of dressage one time, and I had a good test, and I came out and I said to somebody, "Thank God that's over." And they looked at me and said, "I thought you loved dressage."
That whole thing rattled and that's been really loud. That's funny. Just so you know,
So it sounds like there's something at the end of the arena there that is just really quite loud. We didn't hear the full conversation there, but there is something at the end. She's just letting the judges know that is quite distracting for the horses. So they all have radios in their booths and boxes in there, and they will get any information they have out to whomever can help. You know, the big thing here is that it's a even and fair playing field, and if there's anything that can be taken care of to make sure that the horses have the best experience they can, there is a full ground jury here and team on the ground to make sure that all is taken care of. These horses are so sound sensitive as well, and in that moment he did just look to get so frustrated and distracted by something. So we will let you know when we hear what that is, if there's anything that will be changed as we look towards tomorrow.
Is there a cameraman there between the booths? Usually.
With an every single movement. There's so much you can do when you're in the middle of your test. It's not like you can kind of pop in a nice sector or something and get them relaxed. You can really fix it within the movement.
So there she's kind of having her conversation. It's so frustrating to have something like that happen into the arena, but hopefully soon she'll get out on that course and realize that tomorrow and Saturday is another day. But unfortunate time in the arena for Allison there as we wait for their score. She heads down with the stewards with Van Dyke.
Unfortunately, some horses are much more sensitive to sound and will react to it.
Crowds are really showing up here for this afternoon, and again, if you're planning on coming out today, please come out, get a little radio, and you can listen to Marilyn and I chat while you go shopping or watch the wonderful horses in front of us, the young horse competition. You can get out and walk the course. And also tomorrow, we have the score coming in a 48.2, 6th place overall in our competition. But on top of the leaderboard so far at this point of the division, Boyd Martin and Luke 140 left very little on the table as he storms in the leader position as expected in the first block of competition here at the Mars, Maryland 5-star at Fairhill, presented by the Brown Advisory Board. Comes down that center line, and the crowd went wild as he sits atop on a 31. We have a beautiful shot there in our standings. Boyd Martin atop, Luke 140, followed by Jennie Brannigan, FE Lifestyle, Caroline Pamuchku, HSH Tolan King, Shannon Lilly, Canadian Jessica Phoenix, and we will head to a commercial break. Come back and see what's next here from Maryland 5-star.
The Mars Maryland 5-star would like to thank Mars Equestrian and the Mars family of brands for their support. Mars Equestrian, Buckeye Nutrition, Ethel M Chocolates, Nutro, Pedigree, and Tech, and Sound.
Embark on a culinary journey along the banks of the Upper Chesapeake Bay. Discover Cecil County, Maryland, where food and adventure bring people together. Pull up a chair. We're waiting for you. Visit us at discovercecil.com.
We'd like to thank the following partners: Maryland Department of Commerce and Tourism, Maryland Department of Natural Resources, Maryland Department of Agriculture, and Maryland Horse Industry Board.
The Maryland Horse Library and Education Center in Reisterstown offers a special collection of over 5,000 equine-related volumes. Monthly events include panel discussions, author talks, and book signings. Visit marylandhorse.com to learn more.
We are in the very midst of a revolution, the most complete, unexpected, and remarkable of any in the history of nations. Objects of the most stupendous magnitude, and measures in which the lives and liberties of millions yet unborn are intimately interested, are now before us. John Adams.
The 988 helpline provides immediate emotional support to people across Central Maryland. The helpline is free, confidential, and calls and texts are answered 24/7. Learn more at 988helpline.org.
The Mars Maryland 5-Star, presented by Brown Advisory, is being brought to you by Mars Equestrian, a better world for horses, pets, and people. By Brown Advisory, invest in the present to raise the future. And by Cecil County. Discover Cecil County, Maryland, where food and adventure bring people together.
Well, welcome back to day one of the Mars Maryland 5-Star at Fairhill, presented by Brown Advisory. We have had several horses dance down the center line today, and Maryland, did Boyd do enough to stay on top of that leaderboard by the day's end?
He sure did. He nailed it. One little blip, but he really went for it.
Yeah, an exciting day so far. What are your takeaways after watching the first 6 go?
Excitement.
Pure excitement.
It's going to be a real exciting day tomorrow, because you see the ones that didn't do so well today, but you know tomorrow they're going to eat it up.
Absolutely. We saw a lot of that fitness coming through, especially in our last few rides, but so much to play for today. Down to Frankie, who caught up just moments ago with Jennie Brannigan.
Well, Jennie, you had a little case of bad luck last week in Morven, and you're here because you are absolutely the toughest, one of the toughest girls I've ever met. But you're riding in there, and he really looks fantastic today. First, talk about your test.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him. It was so unfortunate that he had the shipping accident like 10 minutes from Badminton, and it was really heartbreaking for my owners and myself and my groom, Isabel. And then I had a horse like flip over in the start box last weekend, and then I sympathy pain my left knee, and I just this horse really deserves to have a good go here. I was so disappointed this spring, and we've been crossing our fingers to get him back in form, and we got him back ready to go at Plantation, and I just kept my e-brake on, and I just really wanted to give him a good go here, but obviously I'm only going to do what's best for my horse, so I'm just taking it day by day, and I'm so proud of him. Shout out to Bettina Hoy. She's been absolutely incredible. I adore her, so I've had kind of a hole with Eric missing, and a friend and a trainer, and she's just brought everything to the next level.
Well, it really does speak to your partnership, though, that you still come here to compete him. You guys have done a lot of the biggest tracks in the world together. And for you, how this Maryland location compares to some of those other venues?
Yeah, I love Maryland. I loved the track last year. I had a great weekend last year. Obviously, this is a hometown track. I've galloped racehorses across the street for 8 years. I actually rode on the flat and over timber over here in this track, so it's just a really special event, and obviously Tim's on all the boards, but I just, it's FE Lifestyle's kind of course, and he hasn't done it in years because we've been at Burley the last couple of years, so I'm really excited.
Well, we're excited to cheer you on. Good luck, Jennie.
So nice to hear from Frankie and Jennie, and we are going to head to break. Come back and see us for the final 5 here at Maryland 5-Star at Fairhill.
The Mars Maryland 5-Star would like to thank Mars Equestrian and the Mars family of brands for their support. Mars Equestrian, Buckeye Nutrition, Ethel M Chocolates, Nutro, pedigree, and tech, and sound.
We invest in the present to raise the future. Brown Advisory, supporting the global equine community.
The Maryland Department of Natural Resources is proud to sponsor and host the Mars Maryland 5-Star at Fair Hill. Maryland state parks and natural resource areas provide ideal places to bring your family, friends, and horses. We're honored to welcome you to our trails.
Maryland's agriculture roots run deep.
This is a thing that brings us all together. We're all dependent on our farmers.
That's awesome looking.
I know.
We're growing so much more than fish. We're growing so much more than plants.
Every farm has a story to tell.
You're working toward a larger goal.
And it keeps us busy January through April.
It's a team effort.
Seriously.
We have it all every week on Maryland Farm and Harvest. Watch on MPT or stream on the PBS app.
The Maryland Horse Library and Education Center in Reisterstown offers a special collection of over 5,000 equine-related volumes. Monthly events include panel discussions, author talks, and book signings. Visit marylandhorse.com to learn more.
University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science. In today's search for environmental solutions, trust the institution with 100 years of pioneering research in the Chesapeake Bay watershed and around the world.
Back underway. Takes us to Canada, 14-year-old.
The Mars Maryland 5-Star, presented by Brown Advisory, is being brought to you by Lemieux, technically advanced gear for horse and rider. By Great Wolf Lodge. Bring your pack together at the newest and largest Great Wolf Lodge, now open in Perryville, Maryland. And by Yanmar, compact equipment, together we build.
And we are back here at Mars Maryland 5-Star at Fair Hill, and our last 5 to go. Kicking off is Canadian Lindsay Transnell and Basie Rouge, then Ardan Wilderson, Sunday Times, then Will Fawdry and Mama's Magic Way. Our sole Great Britain competitor, Alexander Bragg, and then finishing us off, Caroline Pamuchku, who started off the day this morning. But all eyes back on this lady. Lindsay Transnell and Basie Rouge have won their last 2 4-star starts. A member of the Canadian Pan American team. She is looking to secure her first 5-star completion here at Mars, Maryland. This is a 14-year-old Celle Francais, owned by Patricia Pierce. It is a family affair here, as husband Zav is here in the stands with their 2 little girls.
This is her first 5-star also. She's done so well at 4-star.
You know, and it's so interesting because looking at the calendar, a lot of horse and rider combinations ended up heading to Maryland, to Morvet for the final, and it was very much a discussion and a decision for Lindsay, who could have easily headed there, maybe gone to a little softer track, some big money, but she really wanted to show up at Maryland at this 5-star to really test her and her horse against this track, to ride around Pierre's course. And I think it's really exciting to see this combination out here. She has been so fast across the cross country lately. There we see the leaderboard with Boyd Martin in that first place. Jennie Brannigan on a 32.8. Caroline Pamuchku on a 35.9. And Shannon Lilly on a 37.5. So we'll be looking to see if we are going to see a sub-30 test today. And if Basie Rouge can be the one to dethrone Boyd Martin from the first place spot.
That's one thing about event riders. They want the challenge. And they don't want to just go to another event that they've been to and they know they can do it. They want a new challenge.
I think, too, this is very much when you have a horse like this, and this is a horse of a lifetime for Lindsay, you want to jump every track, go to every competition. She knows that this horse is one of the best in the world, and she should be competing with the best in the world.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had several trot steps into the hall, which will take her down some on that. But she looks like she's going to do well.
Yeah, this is a really beautiful horse, a very modern sport horse, light and floaty and tons of scope and movement, built to jump jumps. Just see his bottom lip flapping, just really relaxed day at the office for Basie Rouge, who's known as Dreamy in the barn.
Dreamy is named?
Probably named by their young daughters.
The lateral work was good. She just keeps coming forward. He keeps stepping under well with his hind legs. Keeps a nice connection.
Last two competitions, she's scored a 32.7 and a 33.6, adding no jumping penalties, just a little bit of time, but still cinched.
Well, she's better than that right now. Keep it up.
Keep it up, girl. Canada really coming into form at that gold medal team finish at the Pan American Games. A strong Paris result. Most of these nations looking towards the World Championships at Aachen next year. Chef to keep Rebecca Howard is here last week at the final, and she's actually competing at the young horse competition over in Lyon this week.
He seems relaxed enough. He's got an active walk. Extended walk, you want to see them stretching down and out more, so they really swing in their back. But without a loop in the rein, that's what she's doing there.
How much harder is it to actually walk into the halt, which we're not seeing here, or trot into the halt? What would you say?
Walking into the halt is definitely harder because you don't really have the hind end as much as you do in the trot. See, in this one, you go to P and you have a longer time in the counter canter. The other direction, you have to extend and then immediately into it. That makes it really difficult.
Tell us about those changes.
Yeah, that change, it looked like he was very short behind. And maybe his weakest point is his changes. That's why he hasn't been getting the highest scores. But willing to stretch.
You can really see the partnership here. He seems very businesslike, relaxed, but paying attention, listening to Lindsay, confident with the space.
That change looked good.
It almost looked like before just those shorter sides have him a little cramped in the canter.
Well, there he anticipated.
She comes down to the trot. Finishes.
Nice positive trot into a good halt. Not quite square, but almost.
So
I think she'll be happy with
I
that.
think she will be too. Not good enough to dislodge our leaders, but should be very much in the mix. Again, she's been kind of trending around the 32, 33 mark. She might be slightly above that just with a few of those changes, but I think it's still going to be a quite tight competition heading into Saturday's cross country. As we get a slow motion look at this first change right on the short side.
It was claimed that he got high behind. They're just not perfect changes, but he does them.
Shot of that extended canter. Moves into this change, but just loses a little bit of rhythm here in this corner.
Don't forget, best we've seen so far. Still sitting at the top today, Boyd Martin and Luke 140 on that score.
That's such a cool shot, how you can really see the lift and the timing in the air, the coordination of these horses, listening to the rider's aids. She strolls out of the arena there on a long rein as we have a score in 34.2, which will move her into the third place position, right behind Jennie Brannigan and FE Lifestyle.
It's close, though. It's all close.
65, 66, 69, and there the leaderboard brought to you by Quarry View Builders. Boyd Martin still sits atop of the leaderboard with a 31. Jennie Brannigan nipping at his heels on a 32.8. Canada's Lindsay Transnell sneaking into that podium position on a 34.2. As 4 more will come down this center line today in the Mars, Maryland 5-star here at Fair Hill, presented by Brown Advisory. Again, a huge thank you to our sponsors, Yanmar, Cecil County, Taylor Harris Insurance, and Lemieux. Next, down the center line, we have Ardan Wilderson for the USA and Sunday Times. This Irish sport horse is 18 years young, known as Mumbles in the Barn. This horse owned by Ardan, James Wilderson, and Sarah Wilderson.
This is his first 5-star now. She's got him moving forward, fairly active.
Their first 5-star was actually Kentucky in the spring, where they had a top 20 finish.
Oh, really good.
Hear the wind picking up a little bit out there, keeping that little chill in the air, but perfect weather for top horse sport.
Fluent half passes. Ardan's a very hard worker. She's worked hard at this sport for a long time. Lots of horses.
She really has, and she developed such a partnership with these horses. And again, coming to the 5-star level, she really wanted to do it with a longtime friend, Mumbles. And I remember her heading out on course and her not even having a stopwatch, and she was one of the faster rounds of the day. But this combination is so quick across the country. She had 120 out at the 5-star at Kentucky, and she'll be looking to add nothing to her dressage score here, really taking on the challenge of Pierre Legouble's 5-star track on Saturday. Ardan prepared for this competition at Plantation Field in the 4-star, where she was right outside the top 20.
She's keeping a nice rhythm to the walk. those ears flopping.
She's really done a fantastic job, and this phase is even at this stage of 18 years young, is improving. I remember when she was first at the horse park in the 4-star short and did not have the best time in the sandbox, and now to see her here, the horse much more relaxed in this phase. It shows old dogs can learn new tricks.
Didn't quite jump through behind there. Cheated. He's listening. Those little ears are trying. Doesn't want to really gallop in here.
Needs more space.
Yeah. Oh, he stole that change.
Unfortunately, those changes are going to affect that final score, but so much more relaxed and soft and fluid than we've seen in previous years.
It's come a long way. There we go.
So we'll see these two changes on the diagonals.
Whoop.
Unfortunately, just can't get quite the timing
Legs just
right.
kind of get mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that's an expensive mistake.
And as she finishes up here with her final halt, we will be back with the score in a moment as we head down to Frankie, who caught up with Lindsay after her dressage test.
Well, Lindsay, you guys look really great in there. How did it feel?
He felt great. He always goes in and does his best, so I was really happy with him.
At this level, the partnerships are so important. Talk about yours.
So he's 14 this year. We bought him as a 4-year-old, and we've, other than my husband riding him 1 year while I was pregnant, I've ridden him all the way, so we know each other well now. I don't even know how many 4-stars we've done together.
Well, your daughters were here ringside cheering you on along with your husband, and how exciting is it to have them here along with you?
It's awesome, and my parents are both here, and it's just a whole family affair.
All right, well, a great start for Canada. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Frankie. So great to hear from her. And she always has the nicest things to say about him. I don't think she's been frustrated with him a day in his life. And, I mean, I would imagine it would be very easy to stay in love with a horse called Dreamy as we get back to some slow-motion shots here of Ardan Wilderson with these changes marring an overall very pleasant test, Marilyn.
It was very steady, consistent. I really like the ride. Just, he doesn't understand those changes. He gets so baffled. Doesn't know quite which leg to go forward.
Like, why would I change when everything about me is so good?
And I'll bet out there on cross country he does fabulous changes.
Absolutely. Such a great shot here of this Atwood Arena. See Ardan doing a little courtesy circle up at the top. Crowd starting to fill in. As we have a score come in, it will be a 44.4 that Ardan will start the day with on cross country on Saturday. That currently puts her in the 7th position as we wait to see our next rider coming into the arena. We'll slip her right ahead of Allison, Springer, and Van Dyke. Gets those gloves off as fast as possible. Again, for some reason, there's definitely a rule. We've got to wear gloves, but a lot of our riders try and get them off their hands as quick as we can. Some things are just traditional, or is there a reason for that, Marilyn?
No, it's just traditional.
We just do it because it's what we've always done. He looks very proud of himself, very happy in this environment here. And there's so much atmosphere, Marilyn, but we've just watched these horses happily walk by the flags and the banners and as we welcome our next rider into the arena, no stranger to 5-star competition and sport. It's Will Faudree and Mama's Magic Way.
They've been together a long time.
Mason, as he's known in the barn, is a 14-year-old Hanoverian by Mighty Magic out of Straightaway by Star Region. So lots of blood there. Owned by Jennifer Mosing and the Sterling Silver Stables. Jennifer, such a huge patron of the sport and of Will, has been a major supporter for probably the last over a decade of Will's career.
Unfortunately, he trotted into it, and then he halted and he was going to move, so Will just said, go. You have to pretend that you asked him to go.
This will be their 6th 5-star together. You know, this horse is such a beautiful horse, Marilyn, and he's so amazing across the country and has all the movement and scope for this.
He's such a beautiful mover.
That he just gets caught up with excitement. Will said he's like Boyd Martin's children. It's hard to keep them in a box.
But he's very elastic and he's a lovely mover. Lots of cadence to his trot.
Will spends a lot of time working with Bettina Hoy also.
Especially in the lateral work, he stays active and doesn't lose that cadence.
And Will has broken in. You know, he had a real breakthrough test at Burley back in 23. He did a 29.8 there, finished in the top 20.
Look at that reach. No, stand still.
Just says wait. Having represented USA at Pan American Games. Based down in North Carolina, he is such an attribute to the sport. He is a wonderful guy, a wonderful rider. Houses most of the riders on the East Coast circuit as they're moving from north to south, as he's a perfect halfway spot. And Will is such a good instructor as well over the past few years. He's really, really enjoyed giving back in the way of instruction and teaching.
Oh, that was a pretty good walk. He didn't get uptight in the walk. He kept marching forward and swinging. Now let's keep it together in the canter. Keep it. Good for him. He was very uptight. He was all ready to change.
I think that is the hard part here with Mason, is once he decides he wants to have a big moment, he wants to have a lot of big moments.
He's just trying to take over. So no.
Will doing his best to stay loose and following and not confrontational with this very explosive Mason. He is not going to reproduce that Burley test today, but he here is working well to get Mama's Magic Way back on side. Will sprinkling a little magic dust there, saying, take a breath, stretch it out, boy. Yeah.
Well, he'll have that power and energy for tomorrow.
This, you know, it's like you said earlier, Marilyn, when we see these horses that are just brimming over the top with excitement and enthusiasm, we just know they're going to be ready to run on Saturday. That will be their time to shine.
Does his changes. He
does do that.
Clean. Don't do anymore. Very exuberant.
Just not not going to stand still today. Yeah, good job, Will. Says, it's my clock for 1 more minute. Let's stand here. You know, I think very promising start. A little bit of a disappointing finish there for Will. I think Will did a masterful job trying to stay. It could have gotten a lot more levels when you're on a loose cannon like that. So he definitely kept the lid on top as we get some slow motion shots. Quite a relaxed walk. It just seems like that canter really
turns, pushes the button and
decides it bombs away. Will in a Mama's magic way, but they will be ready to tackle Pierre Le Grouple's 5-star track on Saturday, which is no small feat. Word on the street is that it is big, it is tough. There had been a rumor, Marilyn, that it was going to be a little softer this year, and I do not think that is the case.
Oh, it's his first time doing it here. It'll be soft. Not.
Have you had a chance to be out on the course yet?
No, I didn't. I just heard about it.
So even on Dressage Day, everyone is talking about the track here at Mars, Maryland 5-star. It is such an exciting time to be here in this sport. You see Will taking every moment to stay up here in the arena, making sure to leave this space in as a relaxed space as possible. We see the Quarry View building groups, judges box. They are beautifully built. They bring us Dressage today. Again, huge thank you to our sponsors. And if you are thinking about heading out this way, tomorrow we have the VIP opening at 8:30. We've got tailgating access at 8 o'clock. The competition starts at 9 a.m. We also have the finale of the USEA Young Event Horse East Coast Championships presented by Dubarry of Ireland, starting at 8:30 a.m. with the 5-year-olds. Then they will be followed by the 6-year-olds as we have a score in on a 43.5 that will put Will in 7th place, slipping right behind Jessica Phoenix and Wabbit and right ahead of Ardan, Wildison, and Sunday Times.
That was unfortunate. She was such a nice horse, talented.
Will surely hoping for a different result, but he will put that behind him as we welcome our only British competitor, Alexander Bragg, and the lovely Quinn Diva. There we have that iconic shot of the Cecil County Water Tower here at Fair Hill, Maryland. 5,600 acres of preserved land here that we get to grace for the weekend. Maryland, no stranger to horse sports. We have the Maryland Hunt Cup here, and now 75 competitors move in to contest the Mars Maryland 5-star. Alexander prepares to dazzle us with this 15-year-old mare, Oldenburg mare, by Contender, 2 out of Ruby Roller by High Roller. She is owned by the Rowe family.
Well, she looked a little anxious. Settle down.
Got a little bit of a ways to climb up here from that little bit of brace and mistake in the beginning, but there's a long way to go. And Marilyn, when you have something like that happen in the beginning, what's your advice?
Forget about it.
Easier said than done. Just keep riding. Just keep swimming.
Just shut up and ride. Definitely settled down. He's got a lot of experience, and he probably knows this horse inside out.
Kondiva and Alex were 8th at Burley in 2024 and 3rd at badminton. This is their first trip overseas, you know, and they were just so amazing across the 3 days of competition, and it shows, you know, he's going to want to come here with a big, bold, and difficult cross country so that he can blaze around the cross country, because something here with the judge at sea,
I don't know. She didn't like it either.
It's distracting.
But it's the same for all of them. She looks a little on edge, or a little tight in her back.
You know, and it's a big deal to put on a horse on a plane to come across here. It's a huge actual a tribute to Maryland. That word on the street is that this event is good enough. They will be providing the best footing, the best courses to travel all the way from Europe. But she is really suspicious and interested, looking outside of the arena. A very different feel here, and unfortunately strikes up on the wrong leg. A very different feel here than the traditional arenas of badminton in Burley, Maryland. What can you say to that? You've judged at both those venues.
Yeah, you know, they're more closed in. Well, they're surrounded by stands also, but just it seems like these are a little bit more up in your face. All the sponsor tents.
I also wonder at this time of the day too, there's a lot of shadows.
And I don't know about what's up there, what they're seeing, but
they're letting us know there's something up there.
Ready to go.
See how he's got these 4 changes in front of him. See if we can pull this score back to at least a...
Yeah, that was a nice change.
If we can get down closer to the low to mid 30s, that's going to be a lot better spot for him as he moves into the cross-country day. This pair, normally they've been trending around 30. They scored actually a 35 at Burley, but added nothing to that score. Not even a time penalty to put them in 8th place. And at badminton, a 37.6. So again, as we spoke to before, these horses and riders come in with an expectation. You know, they're always going to hope it's going to be the day, but in this first phase,
but all his changes have been clean, which is going to help his score. It's just overall, she's 10th. So you don't get the high scores.
He's decided he's not even going to make her walk down towards the end of the arena again. She's made it clear she does not like that side of the arena. But this horse and rider combination, known to really show up on a tough Saturday, and this horse is an exceptional show jumper as well. One of the best show jumpers in the field. So here we have how we just started out, not in the best way, just a little temperamental about that end of the arena.
And then she just stayed suspicious of this end of the ring.
I'm sure it was very special to Allison that today.
Some lovely movement and some lovely moments, Marilyn, like you said, just marred by a little bit of tension, a little bit of distraction.
Yeah, the changes are great. She's just not relaxed and confident and really stretching over her through her back. She's not using her back. She needs to take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
Here we go.
Well, I am joined here in the box with Marilyn Payne, who's judged at every 5-star in the world, actually, other than this one, but she's judging right here next to me.
That makes up.
Also at 2 different Olympic Games. So we're getting all the insight here as we watched Alex Bragg and his beautiful Quindiva walk back down to get their tack check. He's still holding on tight.
2 people holding him.
She is.
She's ready to go. Saturday.
Ready to take on hopefully what will be a big day of sport on Saturday, as we wait to welcome in our final horse and rider pair for the day here at the Mars Maryland 5-Star at Fair Hill, presented by Brown Advisory. The score in 39.2. That will put him in 6th position today. So a little higher than where he would have liked to have started out, but never mind. As we see Caroline for the 2nd time today.
And she's the one.
She is the one.
Maybe she can pull us into the 20s.
We have yet to see a sub-30 score, and could this be the one? There we have a preview of our day starting tomorrow, but today it's all about this lady, Caroline Pamuchku, Olympian, down the center line with She's the One. This 10-year-old mare by Jaguar Male out of One to Watch by Conditos. Horse owned by Andy Hoff, Molly Hoff, Sherry Martin, and Caroline herself.
It looked like a very obedient halt. It wasn't square, but from the front you can't see that at all. The judge on the side will penalize her for that. Can't get away with that thing.
Can't get away with the thing. This mare represented the U.S. in the Nations Cup. Then most recently in Arville, where she was in the silver medal team. She was also 4th in the 4-Star Long in Ireland at Mill Street.
She's stepping under well. She's maintaining her activity, and she's got supple bend. Just a little tight. You can see there's that little bit of tension there, but hopefully it will stay contained.
And she can dip down into the 20s. The 4-Star Adamstown, Maryland, she scored a 29.1 to win the 4-Star short there. To prepare for this competition,
Good
she
haul.
did the 3-Star at Plantation and was on a 29.7. So it is possible, Maryland, for her to challenge our leader.
Well, let's see about those changes. Maybe we'll help her.
Let's see about those changes. Our leader in the clubhouse currently, Boyd Martin, sitting on a 31.
Relaxed in the walk. Showing a lengthening of the frame. Could lengthen her stride more, but that's one of the nicest ones we've seen.
And for just a 10-year-old, she seems very, very relaxed in this space.
Yeah, for that, absolutely.
Here we go.
Carolyn's going to go for it.
She's going to fly across
Show
there.
you a medium.
As she moves around to the first of 4 changes, which have been the make or break of the day thus far.
Ah.
You made Marilyn Payne happy.
Pretty good. Especially after being so bold in the medium. Do it again. People don't realize judges are rooting for them. They want you to do well. It's clean, a little braced, but
this horse bred by Jody Amos and produced at the levels by Caroline. And I think that's one of the things that's so meaningful, and you can see in the relationship, is that Caroline, as we know, is a real competitor, and she doesn't come in here and play it safe. So these horses get very comfortable with coming in and being forward, understanding the job, but also she's the one looks very relaxed.
Really went for that stretch. That looked good. One more. It's going to be close.
It is going to be very close here as Caroline turns down the center line. Our final rider in today's section of the Mars Maryland 5-star. Did she do enough to scoot fellow Olympian Boyd Martin off that top spot? We're going to have to wait a moment to see. Nice halt, big pass.
She didn't make any mistake. Just a little bit of tension, a little bit of, could have been softer connection sometimes.
She just says to the judge, she's getting there. I think you're there, girl. This really nice halt.
Yeah, the halt was really good. And that's scored separately.
So consistent throughout her test.
Takes a deep breath there, which is so important to change your energy. You know, you come in here and you have to have these big, powerful moves, as you see here across, to bring your energy up. And then you get into that soft, quiet walk work, and you have to, again, bring your energy back down. This horse is masters of reading energy. And we'll wait to see who will be the leader heading into day 2 of dressage tomorrow. You see her coming down with that great Yanmar sign in the background there. Our wonderful supporters and sponsors here. Caroline gives a little fist pump trotting out, and a score in. It is a 31.4. 0.4 behind our leader, Boyd Martin, on a 31 flat. The judges 171 at C, 177 at H, 187 at B. So big split there depending on where they were sitting. But
we were more like B. So from B, you liked it better.
And here we will have our standings brought to you by Quarry View. In first place, Boyd Martin and Luke 140. Right behind him, Caroline Pamuchku, and she's the one. Then local Jennie Brannigan on FE Lifestyle in a 32.8. Canada's Lindsay Transnell, 34.2. And then again, Caroline Pamuchku, HSH Tolan King, 35.9. Shannon Lilly rounds out the top 6. And in 7th place, Great Britain's Alexander Bragg and Quinn Diva. Another Canadian on that top 10 list, Jessica Phoenix and Wabbit, followed in 9th by Will Faudree, 10th place Ardan Wildison, and 11th Allison Springer with Van Dyke. We are going to throw down to Frankie down at the end gate.
Well, Boyd, our ride of the day here, it's enough to top the leaderboard and also stimulate your senses. From our friends at 5 Gum, I present you with our 5 Gum Ride of the Day pack. Congratulations, and what it feels like to be leading after the first day.
Yeah, no, pretty good, mate. We've got a mission ahead of ourselves this weekend, though. The cross-country course looks very challenging, and another day of dressage tomorrow, so we'll see how it all unfolds.
All right, well, enjoy that gum. Back to you, Marilyn and Sinead, to close us out for the day.
Well, I am so... Well, what an awesome day of competition, and thank you for joining us here at Mars Maryland 5-star at Fair Hill. We'll be back in a second. Stay with us.
The Mars Maryland 5-star would like to thank Mars Equestrian and the Mars family of brands for their support. Mars Equestrian, Buckeye Nutrition, Ethel M Chocolates, Nutro, Pedigree, Antec, and Sound.
For tempting you to crack into new foods. For helping you build epic memories. You're welcome. Come experience more in Maryland. Go to visitmaryland.org.
We'd like to thank the following partners: Mars Equestrian,
Brown Advisory, Cecil County, Maryland Sports Commission,
and Maryland Stadium Authority.
The 988 helpline provides immediate emotional support to people across Central Maryland. The helpline is free, confidential, and calls and texts are answered 24/7. Learn more at 988helpline.org.
Gentlemen, come with me. If you know anything, tell me. Ready? Well then, we best get started. This is way over my head.
You're playing a dangerous game, boss. Where does this end?
I don't know. It's gonna be a busy night. This is only the start.
The Maryland Horse Library and Education Center in Reisterstown offers a special collection of over 5,000 equine-related volumes. Monthly events include panel discussions, author talks, and book signings. Visit marylandhorse.com to learn more.
The Mars Maryland 5-Star, presented by Brown Advisory, is being brought to you by Mars Equestrian, a better world for horses, pets, and people. By Brown Advisory, invest in the present to raise the future. And by Quarry View Building Group, experts in equestrian, commercial, timber frame, and restoration projects.
And welcome back to our first day of competition here at the Mars Maryland 5-Star at Fair Hill. Our MagnaWave Daily Pulse there. We have a picture of Caroline Pamuchku. But actually, it was Jennie Brannigan who was in third place as we head in tomorrow's competition with FE Lifestyle. She danced a dance that put her on a 32.8, which will see her out starting on Pierre Legubel's cross country on a 32.8 tomorrow. In our second place position, we will have Caroline Martin on a 31.4 on She's the One as she gallops across the short side there to secure her spot, nearly knocking Boyd Martin off that top spot. She closes the day on a 31.4. There we have a shot of Jennie Brannigan, who will head to cross country on a 32.8. She finishes the day in third place on longtime partner FE Lifestyle. It's a smooth and seamless day for her in the sandbox after an exciting day of competition. We look to the leaderboard here on our 3-2-1, and there he is, our leader, Boyd Martin, on Luke 140. He came in, laid down a test on a 31.0 and stayed atop of that leaderboard. No one could knock him and his longtime partner off of the top spot. He moves into tomorrow on a first place. Luke 140 will close out Thursday afternoon here at Mars, Maryland. That beautiful halt to finish out his test. Maryland, that was our MagnaWave Showdown 3-2-1 there. What a day in the sandbox, Maryland.
What a day, and I can't wait for Saturday to see these same horses go.
Absolutely. We had a beautiful shot there of the trade fan here. Tomorrow we start the competition at 9 a.m. with the 3-Star Dressage Day 2. Please come out and join us. There is shopping, there is food, there is sport, there is a young horse competition going on, and Marilyn and I will be here showing you what there is to see as we watch our top horse and rider combinations here in Cecil County. We have 75 competitors here tackling this track out on the cross country on Saturday, but one more day of competition in the sandbox tomorrow. We hope you can join us out here at Mars Maryland 5-Star here at Fair Hill, presented by Brown Advisory.
The Mars Maryland 5-Star would like to thank Mars Equestrian and the Mars family of brands for their support. Mars Equestrian, Buckeye Nutrition, Ethel M Chocolates, Nutro, Pedigree, and Tech, and Sound.
Embark on a culinary journey along the banks of the Upper Chesapeake Bay. Discover Cecil County, Maryland, where food and adventure bring people together. Pull up a chair. We're waiting for you. Visit us at discovercecil.com.
We'd like to thank the following partners: Select Event Group, Quarry View Building Group, Yanmar, Lemieux, and Great Wolf Lodge.
When your job is your passion, it's more than a paycheck. It's about pride and purpose.
I just try to give something back and pass something on.
It's an understatement to say those are life-changing things for people.
It's a craft and a calling.
You feel like you're making a difference. I'm here because of you.
And the rewards can be sweet.
I love it. I love what I do.
Don't miss an all-new season of Made in Maryland. Wednesday nights at 7 on MPT or stream on the PBS app.
The Maryland Horse Library and Education Center in Reisterstown offers a special collection of over 5,000 equine-related volumes. Monthly events include panel discussions, author talks, and book signings. Visit marylandhorse.com to learn more.
University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science. In today's search for environmental solutions, trust the institution with 100 years of pioneering research in the Chesapeake Bay watershed and around the world.